everyone. Um, this could be a really quick live. This is just a wee random last minute, pop-up tarot tent as it's called. I just felt like coming on and doing some free readings. So I've done a couple of these lives before. Just what I'll do is actually is I'll stick the oh hey Jen, how are you? Happy Christmas, by the way. I know it's already Christmas for you. Hey Jonathan, happy Christmas Eve. I think you're like a day behind Jen, aren't you? So you'll be like earlier on than me. Let me see, let me just stick this on. And I'll just leave that on there. Yeah, just some free tarot readings tonight. Probably because I've put that in the title, it'll probably bring in like a different loads of loads of different people. Which is cool. I'm in the mood for just kind of a slinging cards and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to spend some time. It's Christmas Eve. I want to spend some time with you guys. I'm conscious I didn't get to go live yesterday. And yeah, just wanted to come on. Had some wine. I'm having some more. Got it in my Santa cup. Well, it's kind of a wine glass, but without the stem. But yeah, very tasty. Oh, it's 12 noon where Jonathan is. Right, cool. Um, Donna Thompson's here. Hi, Donna. How you doing? We've got Kristen Louise. Hey, Kristen. So yeah, if anyone wants a reading, just pop it in capitals for me. I better start shuffling these cards. This is a brand new deck. I won this in Simon and Jenna's quiz. This is the Radiant Wise Spirit. So yeah, I should probably get it nice and shuffled. Hey Joey, hope you guys are all doing okay. So yeah, is everybody having a good Christmas Eve? Or for those down under in Australia or New Zealand or anywhere else where it's already Christmas, are you having a lovely Christmas so far? I'm excited to see you all here. I was kind of wondering whether this would just be like a kind of quick, okay, nobody's coming, it's Christmas Eve, almost Christmas, like, um, hi, oh, hi, Chris and everyone. Sandra says, hi, Sandra, how you doing? Um, yeah, so I wasn't sure whether, obviously people would be busy and stuff. But yeah, it's lovely to see so many of you here. If anyone wants a reading, then pop your question in the chat, and it could be as simple as what do the cards see in store for me for Christmas Day. It could be a general reading for 2022. It could just be like over the festive season. What energies do we see? Whatever you want. Oh, let's see. Hey Simon, how you doing? Yeah, it was a wee random last minute decision to just pop on and do some readings for people. So Jen says slow start to the day here. Haven't seen Carl yet, and Chloe has to quarantine as her friend has just tested positive. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, my brother's just tested positive for COVID. Um, I wouldn't have been seeing him anyway because he lives over in Northern Ireland and he's not coming over until and for another couple of weeks until the wedding. Um, but it's a shame because it means they won't get to spend it with his wife's family. So I feel for him. Simon's just got into bed. I'm using the Radiant Wise Spirit, Simon. I thought I'm going to give it a go. So this was a gift from, well, it was a prize winning, but yeah, it was a gift from Simon. He's slowly but surely increasing the number of Rider-Waite Smith decks that I've got, aren't you, Simon? Hey, Deanne, how are you, lovely? Right, let's see. So Jonathan, I think, is first in with a question, unless I've missed anything. Oh, hey, Jamie, my wee Jamie Pops, how you doing? popping in from the coast to say big love and happy season, Mike. Oh, well, it's lovely to see you. Um, so Jonathan, I think has asked the first question. Oh no, 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 Kristen. Kristen has asked the first question, haven't you, Kristen? So what I was going to say, and this is something that I'm keen to try like properly, like in the next year or so, but I thought we could give it a wee go here. If anyone wants to. So you guys that are asking a question that are comfortable being on camera, if I was to stick the StreamYard link in the chat, would anyone want to kind of come on and just for like a couple of just for the time that it takes for me to do your reading, but would anyone want to come on and have your reading done like with you on the live? You know, just so that we can kind of have a bit of a chat and ask questions and stuff about what we're seeing. It'd be like a mini round table reading, you know. Um, so, Jonathan, if that's something that you would be into, then let me know. I'll stick the link in the chat. But please don't feel obliged, obviously. You know, if you're still waiting for your hair to dry or something like that, I'm not wanting to force you onto the camera, Jonathan. Oh, right. So that was lovely, Jamie. We had Kristen asking, what food do the cards say that I should make for the New Year's? Oh, it was a joke. Right, okay. Not today, but in the future, I'd be willing to do that, says Kristen. There's no obligation for anyone to come on camera. It was just in case somebody fancied it, in case somebody fancied getting a wee cheeky reading, but kind of in person rather than just the usual kind of over the internet waves, as it were. So, Jonathan, let me know what you think. If you would fancy it, then I can pop the link in the chat. If not, then I'm happy just to sling some cards for you just in the normal fashion. And whilst I'm waiting to hear from you on that, I will get this deck nice and shuffled. You know how I like my 7 riffle shuffles. Oh, Jonathan's not camera ready. Right, okay. No worries, Jonathan. Well, if anyone else here would be into kind of a coming on camera to ask a question, you're more than welcome. Let's see. I've just seen Simon's comment. He says, "I had no part in the acquisition. You won it fair. You won it fair and square, Sven." Oops. Right. So what? So we're doing Jonathan's question as normal. So can I get a reading for my runes and how they'll be received? Thank you, Chris. You absolutely can. This deck's quite let me change over. Shall we move this up so as that the comment doesn't cover it? There we go. That'll do. This deck's quite sturdy. So it's a bit more of a challenge to do a good riffle shuffle. So let's see. So Jonathan's runes and how they're going to be received. What do the cards see for you? Right, okay, Jonathan. Okay, we've got the Ace of Cups coming out just to kind of describe the whole situation. In other words, in this case, to describe your runes. So real strong emotional and connectivity energy there, which is really nice to see. Um, uh, the cups are quite closely connected to spirituality. You know, it's that connection to the unconscious. psychic phenomenon, if you like that word, spirituality, just that connecting with something deeper, going really deep. So this suggests that things are really looking good. Everything's on track, and that it's going to be a worthwhile product. Let's see, we've got Temperance coming in, and then we've got the Two of Wands coming out as the kind of a outcome card. What I like to see is the outcome card. So this is what I'm seeing is kind of how they're going to be received. I'm certainly not seeing anything negative in these cards, Jonathan. This is the Two of Wands is very much a card of potential success, I think. Potential, I say, because I think there's a kind of a prerequisite for being prepared, for knowing your stuff, and for really kind of I mean, being discerning. I was doing a walkthrough of the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, earlier on today, and the Two of Wands in that deck is the discerning one. All right, so the Two of Wands, the Two of Fire, we've got duality and our passions and stuff. So it's that time when we're really kind of discovering everything. We're getting ourselves familiar with that fiery energy, with that passion. I think as long as you kind of know your stuff inside and out, you spend that time preparing, looking forward and planning forward. As long as you're well prepared, then I think that it definitely has the potential to be a success. Temperance in the centre is your kind of a advice card, and to me, that's just it's just a wee kind of a nudge at you to kind of the importance of being balanced, of being measured about things. Both from the point of view that this isn't the only thing that you've got going on. So just kind of remember to be attentive to your family. Remember that you've got whatever else, your job, X, Y, and Z, all this other stuff. And remember not to kind of do yourself in trying to get this product out there. But also just I mean, temperance comes in between some really kind of a difficult cards. We'll get death, temperance, and then the devil. Okay, so temperance is kind of that relief in the middle. All right, so this suggests that your product could well be a real kind of a guiding energy for people out there. So I think this looks really positive for you. I'm really excited for your runes. And yeah, I'm sure they will absolutely be well received. Um, it might be one of those things, how initially you're not sure, when you first put something out there, you're so filled up with just like excitement and anxiety and things like that. And kind of I don't I might just be speaking from my own point of view here, but I tend to like kind of if I don't get the big ecstatic reaction that that I might want, I'll start doubting myself. I'll start thinking, "Oh no, oh they don't like it, they don't like it." And do you see how temperance there is kind of has really kind of a measured like balance. You can't really tell much from. They've got a real good poker face, is what I'm saying. Um, so just be wary of feeling like that, Jonathan. Be wary of how much stock you're putting in other people's kind of reactions. The proof will be in the pudding, as we can see, kind of looking forward. So everything is looking great, and yeah, congrats. When did they come out, Jonathan? Um, let's see. As usual, it's about getting word out. Deanne says I look super cozy. Yeah, this is actually a pajama top, but I'm using it like a jumper. It is really cozy. So these were my Christmas jammies that Sanda. That was a mixture between Sandy and Santa. It wasn't even intentional, but there you go. Christmas jammies that Sandy got me. Um, so yeah, I'm all cozy. So Jonathan, how was that? Was that helpful? You can let me know. Um, So Sandra and Simon are both lying in bed. Lucky people. Simon, by the way, I was delighted to see that your wee mum got home for Christmas. So congrats, and I'm really excited for you, and I hope you have an amazing day. Um, let's see. All is well here. Going to wrap presents soon. I think I've got all my presents wrapped that need to be wrapped for tomorrow. Thankfully. So yeah. Good luck doing that, Diane. Let's see. Diane saying hi to everyone, but too relaxed to type names. Is anyone else drinking anything? Anyone else got a wee wine? I probably should. I had my booster today, um, so I maybe shouldn't be drinking, but oh well. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? I suppose I should really hone in on any questions, shouldn't I? Given that this is supposed to be about readings. But you all know the drill. You can just pop it in capitals or tag me or ideally both, and I'll catch it on one of my lists that I've got here. Um, let's see, Debbie, how you doing? Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas Eve? Do. And Mark, I saw Mark as well. Merry Christmas, Mark. Um, I hope you're having a lovely time. Simon says, after the reading, what are your thoughts on Oracle X? Interested to know. It is really well done. It's really nice. I've not read with it yet, but I have gone through it. I've flicked through it and looked at all the kind of the images and the keywords and stuff, and I think it really has the potential to work well. I often find with decks, I used this expression earlier. Apparently, this is my favourite expression of the day, but with the proof is in the pudding. So I'm excited to see how it works actually using it. But yeah, it looks really nice. So it does, and it's a nice size. I like that kind of a more playing card type size. It's really cool. How are you getting on with it, Simon? Let's see. Yeah, getting word out, says Jonathan. I'm obsessing over it at the moment. Brought it with me. Such accuracy with them. Oh, that's really cool. I'll need to give it a go then. Kristen's off ski. See you later, Kristen. I hope you have a lovely Christmas. Um, so when people order them, I'm making them by hand. Ah, okay. So are they available to order now? Are you wearing your wedding ring? No, this is my engagement ring, Simon. Um, I don't always wear it because my skin tends to kind of react funny to it sometimes. Um, but yeah, no, don't worry. My wedding ring's still. Have I showed you my wedding ring actually? Because I designed it myself. It's pretty cool if I do say so myself. Intrigued by the Oracle X. It makes me want to create something super customizable. Cool concept. Mark's asking a question. Possible new romance came out of the blue on the winter solstice. What's the potential? Okay, let's have a look. A wee romance question. I like it. Let's see. Let's nosy into Mark's love life. Okay, we'll get the chariot coming out as the situation. So I mean, there's promise of success. The charioteer it's the victory march, isn't it? So definitely things are feeling good right now. You're feeling quite there's a feeling of quite triumphant. So is this someone who's, I don't know, particularly good looking? You're really kind of attracted, and you're really pleased um that that this person's interested, that kind of a thing. Um, Remember with the chariot, there's the need to control those opposing forces. So, I mean, there might be a wee bit of a challenge in making a new relationship work with your already established kind of a life the way that it is. But it's always the same with new relationships, to be honest with you. So that's not exactly a surprise. But given that we're honing in here on and that's been brought up as something for you, that's maybe something you're just going to want to think about. Maybe just a wee bit more kind of a forward planning and consideration as to how things will fit in together. Um, let's see, the advice is the Hierophant. Oh gosh, we've got three majors here. Look at that. Um, so let's see. I mean, there's death coming out as the outcome. I mean, you could look at that a couple of different ways. You could look at that as well. You could look at that as it's going to come to a natural ending point. You know, let's be honest, that could be what it is. But at the same time, death is all about kind of a personal transformation, I think. Death kind of stops us and asks us to make a change in ourselves. So this could just be reflecting the kind of effect that it's going to have on you as a person. And like for me personally, I've always found that whenever I kind of get into a relationship, you kind of it's like you become a we and not a me anymore. So you do change like to different degrees depending on the person, obviously, but it does have that kind of that effect on you. Um, the Hierophant in the middle. Now, what's interesting is that we actually have the kind of the Pope type figure in the Death card, and we also have him popping up in the middle here. So I think that he's important. He, she, they, whatever. Um, they are important in that they're appearing twice in the spread. Now, what could they mean? For me, the Hierophant, it's all about kind of looking out with yourself for answers. So, oh, there's random bits of fluff just floating about. That must be because these are new jammies. Um, if you're kind of maybe questioning about how things are working, or how am I going to fit this in? To me, the answer is talk to the other person. you know. The Hierophant is kind of for me a card about it's kind of in ways opposite to the Hermit. In the Hierophant we're told, you can learn the path forward by, looking at those who have come before you, looking to tradition, looking at, you know, read the books on it. So if someone's saying to me, how do I climb Mount Everest, and the Hierophant comes up, then I'm going to say, well, you're going to do lots of research into it. You're going to look at who's come before you. You're going to look at those people and how they've done it. How did they survive it? What was their technique? You know, and from that, you're going to learn a hell of a lot. There's a lot to be learned from looking out with yourself. If the Hermit comes up to a question like that, on the other hand, to me, it's more like, there's nothing really else that you can learn outside yourself. The answers are all within you. Given that this is coming up um, in a spread about your relationship, this tells me that, there's a lot to be learned. And remember, he's coming up in the death card as well. Okay, he's coming up in the card that's talking about personal transformation. So there's a lot to be learned about yourself. There's a lot of change that this could make, that you can make, that can come out of this. Um, I mean, not even looking at what the cards are, we've got three majors coming out in a spread like this. So this relationship has serious potential. It has the potential to be a real kind of have a real impact on you. And yeah, I mean, like it's interesting that we've got two on either side. We've got cards that are kind of well, I suppose, as the Chariot moving? Sometimes we don't really think so, do we? He's more kind of just standing there. But to me, it is supposed to be a victory march, and then obviously we have Death on the horse moving forwards. So it's all systems go, I think, and I'm excited about it. I think there's a lot to be learned, and a lot of kind of a compromise and changes to be made. But it definitely has the potential to be something great, is what I'm going to say. So yeah, you can let me know what you think about that, Mark. I hope that that was helpful. It's very relatable. You're a Cancer, which is the Chariot. The Hierophant is your tarot birth card. It would be a big transformation going from being in a single relationship to being in a couple. I have to let go of old habits. Cool. Well, listen, I'm really happy for you. That's really nice that that you've kind of found someone, and you're in a new relationship, and I hope that it works out and goes well. Okay. So Simon's got a 100 card deck for Oracle X. What's mine? 42, is it? But that's pretty exciting. Easily replace any damaged ones, so that's quite cool. Oh, hey, Orshi, I didn't think we'd see you because I know it's very late where you are. Can't stay, but happy holidays to you lovely people. Well, Merry Christmas to you, lovely. It's Jenovsky. Have to run. Right, Jen, I hope you all have an amazing Christmas. Merry Christmas to Dean and Chloe and Carl and everyone else. Okay, guys, so if anyone else wants a reading, then pop it in the chat. Other than that, what's happening? You can chat away. Do you know what's weird about these cards, actually? The backs are the opposite way around from the blue and white lily backs, rose and lily backs. So you know how they're not really reversible because of the thing in the middle? I'm making a bit of a tit of this. So I'm going to show you. So see here at the top here, it comes to a point in the middle, whereas here it's kind of a flat. And the five petaled flower here, there's the petal that points down, but two pointing up. So um, in the blue and white, so this is it upright, and it's the opposite way around. So the petal points up, and you've got the single with the two. See what I mean? So that's interesting. So you're probably going to find that if you see me using this deck, I'm going to be turning them over the wrong way a lot. It was the point in that comment. Orshi, of course you can get a reading, Orshi. Absolutely. And by the way, I'm offering for if people want, I can put the link in the chat and people can actually come on live and have your readings done. Kind of like a wee mini round table reading. So you just be on for a couple of minutes whilst I do your reading, but there's no need to have it done that way. It's just if you fancy it, if you're in the mood. But other than that, feel free to stick your question in the chat. So Simon, I'll need to send you a glide and catch up and see how your mum's doing and what's happening and stuff. You're under your blanket, right? Okay. Most people aren't camera ready. I need to give more notice next time. Simon's naked in bed. I wouldn't subject anyone to that mess. Well, I'm not saying you need to whip it out, Simon. I just need your face. That's all. You don't need to hang out with your wang out. Oh, right, Oshie, what's your question, lovely? Sandra's like, Simon. Hang out with your wang out. Have you never heard that expression before? That's Steve Stifler from American Pie. I'm gonna hang out with my wang out, and I'm gonna rock out with my cock out. So there's a guy I can't seem to completely move on from. Can't figure out what else to learn there. Okay. No, you're fine, Archie. I can see it. So I wonder what advice do the cards have for you? Let's have a look. Okay. It feels to me as though there's stuff left to be said that's not been said. There's unfinished business there, Osha. I really see it in the Five of Wands, the advice. This is the advice card, and the advice is actually to have that clash, have that argument, the competition. There it needs to come to heads. I can see that that you're obviously feeling a certain way about it, and you're trying to move on from it, but obviously based on what you're saying, um, you're not really fully able to. And I feel as though there needs to be something said. We're bookended here by sword cards, so to me this is all about information exchange. It's about communication. Words have to be had, and it might be quite difficult. In fact, I know it's going to be difficult because these two cards do feel quite tense to me. Um, I do really feel for you, to be honest, because this is representing the situation in general. So there's been some, it's quite a painful situation. But there is that kind of there is that sunrise that we do associate with the Ten of Swords that we just kind of need to, um, what once we're able to, we stand up and we move on, albeit with the scars on our backs, with the lessons that we've learned, but we move on from it. And the key, obviously here we see the kind of a moving on is represented by the Ace of Swords. I, I feel that there needs to be this information exchange. There needs to be an argument, or there needs to be a kind of a right. This really pisses me off. You did this, or you said this, or you said you were going to do that and you didn't. Something needs to be said. Once that once that happens, that's the key to the new beginning. That's the key to the ace. And the new beginning here is a change of mindset. It's a change in how you see things. So don't be afraid to have your mind changed. Don't be afraid to go in and be wrong. You might feel right now as though, this person is completely in the wrong. I've no interest in what they've got to say. How could they possibly be right? Don't be scared to change your mind, or don't be scared to kind of a compromise that position. You might come out of it thinking, okay, right, fair enough. I still stand by my principles and I still stand by this, that, and the next thing, but I can kind of see where maybe a bit more where they're coming from. And now, now with that in mind, I can kind of move on from it. I understand the situation better. I've gained this new understanding, and that's basically going to cut through this kind of a fog that I'm finding myself in right now. That's just kind of a stopping me from moving on from it. So it, there needs to be um some sort of conversation. So you said it's not painful anymore. It's done, so can't talk to him. So meh, dang. I have those conversations in my head from time to time. Oh, that's really because it's the unfinished part of it. Maybe it's the fact that they're not being able to express yourself that's making it more difficult to kind of just put the situation behind you and walk away from it. Is there like anyone else objective that you can speak to, you know, that you can actually have the conversation with, just explain everything and have them give their objective kind of a from their point of view as someone who's got no interest in the entire situation, just if for nothing else, it validates where you're coming from. It's it's never going to kind of give you the other person's point of view, which I think is what we're seeing is maybe going to be helpful here. But I mean, the I don't know. I really feel as though this is the key to it. You know, um, maybe just I mean, this can be about fights and arguments and stuff. So just and swords on either side. Maybe it's about analysis of that. So maybe looking at what broke things down, what stopped it. You know, what was there a fight? Was there a difference in opinion, a difference in I don't know political standpoint? Like just look at the situation and analyze it and break down exactly what happened. I'm sure that you've done that and you don't need me or these cards to be telling you something like that, but I don't know. I'm trying to interpret what's in front of me. Maybe the lesson is that there's never going to be closure. Hmm. Started good, then sort of fizzled out. Right, okay. Okay. Well, I I hope that that was in some way or another helpful for you. Um, I hope that you can maybe like it would be good. I feel as though I keep wanting to say it would be good if you could have a conversation with them. But you said that's not an option. So, um, but yeah, I'm sorry if that wasn't very helpful, Archie. But yeah, 5 of Wands. Right, let's see. My what? Happy Christmas, Anne. Um, I hope that you have a lovely day tomorrow or today if it's already Christmas where you are. Let's see. Christmas has been exchanged. I'm actually happy to see the Ten of Swords. It shows that I've managed to kill it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Ten of Swords, it's like it is done and dusted. It's just all about kind of the task then is to actually know, like, acknowledge that it's done and dusted and get up and move on from it. And like I say, move on with the lessons that you've learned and stuff, but kind of a move on and start afresh. Ah, Anne. So you are the master behind these. Right, okay. I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. Thank you I mean, thank you to Simon and thank you to you and Jenna. They are absolutely beautiful, so they are. I still need to decide what decks I'm going to put in them. So I'm going to wait and see what I get for Christmas, and then I might I might kind of break them out and use them then. But yeah, they're absolutely stunning. Thank you so much. Yeah, they do, don't they, Sandra? Sandra says they look really lovely. 16 minutes till midnight, says Orshie. I might turn into a pumpkin. Exciting. um, so what do we all do? Like, do we all stay up for the bells? For the bells, I suppose it's not really the bells, it's the Christmas bells. Um, Getting really bad at riffle shuffling here. Um, I used to always watch Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban um, on Christmas Eve night. I remember I used to watch it when I used to go and stay with my gran. Um, when I first moved out of home, I lived myself in a flat. So I used to go and stay with my gran that passed away in August. Um, I did that for a couple of years, and I remember I used to sit and watch Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, like, kind of had to take me through into Christmas. I love doing that. It's just something really Christmassy about that film. I don't know what it is because it's not like a traditional Christmas film. Oh, Joey opens presents at midnight. Sandy would love to do that, but that's not going to be happening. We're going to wait until the morning, I think. Um, oh, hey, Sheila. We get Celtic Tarot, Sheila. Good afternoon, everyone. Lots of love from Colorado. where we have no snow and I'm still wearing flip-flops to the store in December. Anyhow, happy holidays. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Well, thank you very much for that lovely message, Sheila. Happy holidays to you too. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a lovely day. And all the lovely Ishies here as well. Hey Ish, how are you? Um, let's see. Sandra says Prisoner is my favourite Harry Potter film. I don't know if I would say it was my favourite. Um, oh my God, what is wrong with these cards? I just can't seem to riffle them anymore. I was doing it to start with. Maybe I should just overhand. Maybe that's a sign. But yeah, what was I saying there? Yeah, so I really like the Order of the Phoenix because I love the big showdown between Voldemort and Dumbledore. I think that's really good. Um, let's see, Orshi says, I got my gifts already, so tomorrow I can play with the Shark the Tarot. Oh, that's exciting, Orshi. How come do you do Christmas on Christmas Eve? Like, do you do, excuse me, present exchange on Christmas Eve? Let's see. Yeah, he would to open his presents on. He makes me wrap up his presents and put them under the tree like days and days before Christmas, and then he pokes at them to see if he can figure out what they are. Rudeness. Lights out time as I don't want Santa to catch me awake. Night night all and happy Christmas. Good night, Simon, and happy Christmas to you and to your mum and to Malk, and I hope you all have a lovely time. And just watched the film Nativity with Martin Freeman. Perfect Christmas Eve film, so innocently funny, sweet, and just perfect. Oh, that's really nice. Do you know what film is so good? Christmas Chronicles. It is amazing. I really love it. I've watched it 2 years in a row now. Um, it's just so kind of it's really funny and really feel good, and I don't know, I just really enjoy it. Um, she's excited for tomorrow. You excited to see what Santa brings you, is she? And or she's not a Harry Potter fan, not a Harry Potter movie fan, but the first one has a great Christmas feeling to it. Yeah, it does. Um, and Hungry at Christmas Eve is the main family day. The 25th and the 26th is all about visiting relatives. Ah, okay, that's pretty cool. Oops, she's saying hi to everyone. Christmas Chronicles is good. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's really good. It's good. Is it Kurt Russell that's got in it? So does anybody else want a reading? Does anybody else want me to pull some cards for them? Does anyone have a question? Or does anyone just want a general? Or does anyone want a wee Christmas reading to see how tomorrow's going to be? I'm determined I'm going to get these to riffle. There we go. You said you are a Harry Potter fan. Have you seen your Insta lately? Sorry, Harry Potter film fan. You said you weren't, didn't you? What time am I on? It's 10 to 11. I can do one for the collective if you want, actually. Um, oh, hang on. I'll do one for the collective at the end, shall I? One for tomorrow for Ashley. Okay, let's see. Ooh, Hanged Man seemed to want to pop out at you there, Ashley. General reading for Ashley for tomorrow. Right, let's have a wee look then. Right, there's lots of air energy about you-ish. So just be careful with that. Um, don't get too up in your head about things. Um, on Christmas, emotions run high. Tensions tend to run a bit high. I don't know whether you'll be having a wee drink on Christmas Day or what, but that can sometimes just make things intensify things a wee bit. Um, so just try and make light of it. Your asset here is the world, so that suggests that everything is hunky dory. You've got an amazing day ahead of you, or all the potential for an amazing day ahead of you. Um, just um, don't get too up in your head, and don't let things upset you that don't necessarily need to upset you, if that makes sense. It is okay just to sometimes let things kind of go over your head. All right. Um, we've got the Seven of Wands coming out here. So again, I think that's just saying, kind of like the world. You're right where you need to be. Everything's good. You've got the high ground, as it were. And you're strong and able to kind of fend off any kind of forces that might kind of come against you. But we're not dealing with any of that. Tomorrow's Christmas. We're going to have an amazing day. This is the card that we want. We'll take or leave the rest. We'll just take these as some friendly advice, but this is the card that we're going to go with. So it's the asset, it's the asset card. So I'm perfectly entitled to do that. All right, we've got strengths, weaknesses, assets, and opportunities. The asset is this. This is the thing that we've got guaranteed. We've got under our belt. So your asset is that you've got all the makings of a great day ahead of you. Okay, and you're going to make the most of that, and it's going to be great. Okay, just be wary of overthinking. Be wary of letting people wind you up, as sometimes tends to happen on Christmas Day, or maybe more accurately on Christmas evening. Um, but yeah, I hope that you have an amazing day, Ishy. Hanged man would make sense. Pub lunch. I can't be drinking because I'm driving. Right, okay. It's interesting that two of your two swords cards there. I think they were both had their eyes covered up, Ishy. Um, so yeah, I wonder what that's about. There's maybe something going on in the peripherals, or something going on that you're not aware of. So just watch out for that. Probably going to do a stream tomorrow. Whoops. Um, on my second reading channel, late afternoon. Feel free to pop a link in for your second reading channel there, Orshi. Um, yeah, stick a link in for your channel if you want. People will be able to go and subscribe. Uh, in our heads about the numbers rising. The reading makes a lot of sense. Thank you. I'm going with an open heart. Oh, that's good. Um, oops. Oh, look with the two of cups jump out at us there. Isn't that nice? Joey says, I miss pubs. Um, have you just not been to any because of the... Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Have you just not... Yeah, I've made her a mod whilst I was saying it, actually. Joey, have you just not been to any pubs because of the pandemic, or did they just not have many pubs in Lisburn? Is it not as big a thing? Oh, right. Do we have any other readings? Well, we do the collective one just now. Um, Moved to Lisbon a few months ago, no pubs here. Ah, that's a shame. Let's do the reading for the collective just now then. Um, so a reading for the collective to take us through the Christmas period. Right, what have we got, guys? We've got the Knight. Gosh, the name's also that's coming out as the Strength card. The weakness. We've got the Knight of Cups. Okie dokie. Knight of Cups in the weakness position suggests that we might be struggling with connecting with other people, or maybe just kind of empathizing with them. Um, and that might be why we're seeing all this kind of a swordsy energy. I mean, this is strengths, right? So this suggests that there's this high intellectual, analytical kind of a energy that's going on, and we're able to use that to our strength. So that suggests that we're maybe not going to see it manifesting in the way that we perhaps see in the card here, but we're going to be able to channel that energy and use it in a way that's, that's really helpful and really positive for us. Um, but then this is coming in as a bit of a warning, I think, just be wary about how it's affecting. You're maybe not appreciating how this situation is affecting the people around about you. You're maybe just not kind of on that wavelength where where you're able to understand each other. Okay, so let's be particularly mindful of the people around about us, of our families, our friends, the people that we're spending Christmas with, and just the connections that we have with them. And let's just kind of like the Queen's doing with the Pentacle here. Let's just kind of pay that make a conscious effort to pay a wee bit extra attention. Okay, the asset that we've got is we do have this really kind of a mama bear energy around about us. Okay, whether it's within us that we're able to kind of portray to put forward to other people, or whether that we've got someone extending that energy to us. But there is this really warm energy. This kind of I always think of Jilly when I see this card, and I know she doesn't really relate to the Queen of Pentacles, but for me, the Queen of Pentacles is the person that creates that safe space. That space where everyone can feel secure and feel like they can be open, feel like they're amongst family. You know that way when you kind of get home, that just feeling of safety and familiarity and just homeliness that comes over you, and you feel as though you can be yourself. Whereas when you're out in the big bad world, you feel as though you've kind of got to put on a front. See that space, that feeling of home. That is what the Queen of Pentacles creates. Okay, so we have that working for us in our favour. The opportunity here is to, I suppose, see past kind of our limitations, limiting thoughts. Okay, the limiting thoughts that we put on ourselves. Okay, so there's a real opportunity to see past that, but I think we need to again be conscious of how we're kind of impacting other people emotionally. Hey, you right? I've got a guest. I doubt he'll come onto the camera. But everyone say hi to Sandy. It's all right. Um, right, let's see, what are you saying in the comments? Oh, so Joey says it's just clubs and street bars. All right, okay. Actually, I haven't been to a pub or near family for some time. October, we had a family loss that brought us together. So it's been caution to the wind for November. Now getting cautious again personally. Right, okay, okay. Well, listen, I hope that you can have a good day tomorrow and enjoy yourself, Ishy. Whether it's a small event, or whether you're, like you say, you're having a pub lunch. I'm assuming you're going to be seeing some more people than what you perhaps normally would have. So I hope that Hope that you have an amazing time. And try not to get up in your head about things. Like remember those swords cards that were coming out for you. Um, are there no locals that hold bar in their front room? Thank you, Chris, for being so generous with your time, energy. And oh, you're so welcome, Archie. I do this because I enjoy it. I enjoy spending time with you guys, and I find, reading cards really quite fun. So I'm enjoying myself. Let's see. People tend to be outside the bars on the street. I miss a good old pub roast sometimes, and you don't get that here. There is an Irish pub downtown, though. Oh, that sounds good. Saying hi to Sandy. I'll let him know that you all said hi. Um, Aaron Barker, can I have a reading? You absolutely can, Aaron. If you pop your question in the chat for me, I'll pull some cards for you. Um, but yeah, I think it's the first time I've saw you, so welcome. I hope that you're doing okay. I hope that wherever you are, whether it's Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I hope that you're having a lovely time. That's if you celebrate Christmas. And yeah, I hope that Santa's good to you. Or she says Irish pub. I'm on my way, Joey. So yeah, Aaron, if you can pop your question in, either pop it. You don't need to worry too much about capitals or, I'll probably see it because the comments aren't moving that fast. But stick your question in the chat for me, and I will pull some cards for you. So as she says, 7 of us around the table, and 2 upturned glasses and lit candles. That sounds nice. What do I need to know right now moving forward into the new year? New year, asks Aaron. What do I need to know right now moving forward into the new year? What does Aaron need to know right now? Okay, let's have a look. Okay. Um, so I'm kind of curious about would it is it possible that you might find yourself in a new relationship in the new year, Aaron? Like, are you single and ready to mingle? Is that something you'd be open to? The Ace of Cups can well be talking about, that new feeling of connectedness that comes with a new relationship, but equally it can be a connection to self. It can be about self-care. Um, the advice card coming out here is the Page of Swords. Now I don't know if the Page of Swords is coming out because that maybe links in with this card and it represents maybe someone who's kind of a roundabout you coming into the new year. That should be someone who's really witty, really curious, maybe a wee bit nosy. That can sometimes be the down point of the Page of Swords is that they can be a wee bit nosy and they love information. Information is their thing that they love to play with, and sometimes they can be a wee bit, like they think that they get one or two wee facts and then they think that they know it all and they start running their mouth off. Maybe a tiny wee bit can come across immature sometimes in that way. But we're talking about someone who's innovative. We're talking about someone who is really intelligent, and who can look at things in a different way. You know, um, I'm just looking to see whether you've said anything. Anyway, either way, whether this is talking about someone else or whether this is just talking about your connection to self, um, it's something to bear in mind. Now, remember, just The Ten of Wands, we think about burden when we see the Ten of Wands, and it can be. It depends on how how you kind of approach the things that you've got to do. Um, I've said this before, like when I see this card, I always think of like, does anyone else do that thing when you come home with the shopping? You'll try and lift all of the shopping bags into the house at once rather than just making 2 or 3 trips. I'm really bad for doing that, and, I get my hands into a terrible state trying to do it, but it's just there's this thing in me that makes me want to kind of, be efficient and do everything as quickly as possible, and it often leads me to taking on more than I can handle. So that's something to be wary of, you know? Don't feel as though you need to do everything at once. Don't feel as though that you're responsible for doing everything, okay? If we come back to what we were looking at here, so you've said a relationship is something that you're very open to in the new year. I've done so much self-care this year, getting over trauma, and I'm now ready to mingle, so to speak. Right, okay. Okay. We have so the Ace of Cups coming in, it represents that kind of a new feeling of connectedness, that really kind of a bubbly emotional feeling inside yourself, which can come from a new connection, a new relationship, a new friend, a new lover, a new partner, whatever. It can come with that. Okay. Definitely pay attention to the people around about you. Anyone that fits that description of, really kind of a intelligent and really kind of a alternative way of looking at things, of thinking, and a different way of solving problems. Maybe someone who loves a bit of gossip and really wants to kind of get to know someone who's really naturally curious and will be very interested in, your story and what you've got to tell, then that's someone to kind of um that's someone to keep your eye on and pay attention to. But just remember, with relationships, it's a well, I say two-person thing, assuming that you're not polyam or something. But like, relationships, it's not just about you doing all the work. There is fluff floating about me and it's really distracting. Sorry. You know, it's about, the people coming together and working as a team. Okay. So don't feel as though you have to take on all of the kind of burdens of the relationship yourself. You're not the one that needs to make all of the compromises. You're not the one that needs to make all of the sacrifices. Okay. It's kind of a two-way street. So just bear that in mind. Um, when you try and take on too much, when you try and kind of bend over backwards to make things work, you can end up feeling resentful and stuff like that. And it doesn't necessarily have to go that way. This, like I was saying earlier on with the shopping bags analogy, this person could easily make this in 2 trips, okay? And they probably wouldn't end up with their back killing them, you know? Um, so it's just, I think it's all about how you approach it, and that kind of a communication aspect. Let's see. So Lily, I can see you're saying, can I ask a question? You absolutely can. Just pop it in the chat. Um, Sometimes I take on too much, which can be a bit overwhelming. Working on so many priorities, so it may be a sign to take things a bit more easily in the new year. Okay. Well, Aaron, I hope that that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for bringing your question. It was lovely to meet you. And pop back in at some point and let us know what's happening. I hope you have a lovely Christmas. Right, let me go back up to Aaron's question because I was wondering, is there any way you'd be willing to do a reading for the United States going into 2022? I take it that is, to give us some hope. If not, I completely understand where the red-headed stepchildren. If not, completely understand for the red-headed stepchildren. Um, I d oh, for goodness sake. Gosh, we've got cards flying all over the place here. What have we got? We've got the ace and the two of wands. We've got the star, and we've got the king of swords coming out. So this was for the USA, just for 2022, wasn't it? Um, so let's see. There is a new beginning, okay? And at least in the outset, it's going in the right direction. So we're starting off with the ace, and that's that new feeling of passion, at the root of the power of fire. Okay, so something's lighting that fire in our belly. There's something coming up you know, that's going to give us something to hope for. It's going to give us something to feel, it's going to give us purpose. All right. We see a lot of excitement and a lot of planning and a lot of familiarizing ourselves with this new energy that's coming into our lives. Okay. We see the person here kind of a holding the world in the palm of their hands. To me, this is a card of planning, of development, of developing the idea of kind of like just building that space for yourself and just not there's not a lot of action for me that happens in the two of wands. The two of wands is more about planning the way forward. It's about mind maps and developing the idea. We see the star coming in, so the stars then coming in to give us that outside kind of a feeling of hope. Okay, that direction, that bit of direction that we need. The star is the kind of the lovely guidance that comes in after the tower. Okay, so it's that when you're at your darkest, when you feel as though everything's just hit rock bottom, the star is that represents that first feeling of right, things are actually going to be okay here. Okay, so this is what this is kind of a culminating to. Okay, it's really giving us that hope that things are moving in the right direction, that there is a positive way out of, whatever situation we happen to find ourselves in. Get the King of Swords coming out at the end there, just representing that logic, that reason, um, just that kind of a basing everything on the evidence, really kind of a looking at everything that's in front of us, and determining the proper way forward based on the facts, not based on the high emotions of any situation, not based on, self-interest or anything like that, actually based on the facts and what is right and what is just. So I think that's quite hopeful. Um, just based on the kind of the generality of the question, but I think that's looking quite good. I don't know what you think, Sheila. I hope that was helpful. Okay. See. So Lily asked, can I ask a question? Should I post? Okay, so Neil Culture got in just before Lily, and then I can see Lily, your question's next. So, does Leo have feelings for me? Should I confess to her? Okay. So let's just have a wee look at the relationship. It has the potential to have a real positive outcome. This relationship, it is going to require a lot of work. There's stuff to be worked through. There's going to be need to be commitment and discipline, and that's really what's going to kind of get you through to the end. Um, there's I don't know about what you mean about confessing. Um, I think there is a need to be open and honest and to see the situation as it is. So I'm going to hold this up because you see how in this card, it's like the young ones are kind of are all caught up in their own world and they're not really seeing or appreciating the father here, the person who's basically built this magnificent castle, palace, kingdom for them. You know, they're so caught up in the young people things that they're not really kind of appreciating what's going on here. You can see that the dogs are loyal, um, but they seem to be very much caught up in something else. So be conscious of that. Be conscious of being kind of a caught up by other things going on. Make sure that if this is someone that you want to make it work with, then you're going to have to pay them due attention. Um, I mean, like I said, the relationship does have all that promise to provide that stability and stuff. Given that we've got the King of Pentacles as describing the relationship, sure, it might be stable, sure, it could work, but I don't know about you guys. Does this scream romance and passion to you? It doesn't to me. So there needs to be something, there needs to be something that happens. There needs to be a conversation. There needs to be an understanding. We need to inject new life into the situation here. We've got three earth cards for a relationship reading. Okay, we need to get some fire and some water in there. We need some passion and some emotion and some connection because I kind of I feel as though that's lacking just now. Um, so I hope that that was helpful for you. That's just something to kind of bear in mind, when you're going about, when you're interacting with this person. Okay. So Lily asks, can I ask if F will contact me by the end of December? Take a drink. Will F contact you by the end of December? I don't see. I'm honing in on this person here. Just see how they're kind of they're being ignored almost. I'm also looking at, the way that the ships are moving against these choppy waters. The only water, by the way, that we see in this reading that's supposed to be about, an emotional situation, or is it? No, you've just asked if somebody's going to contact you. It doesn't necessarily need to be an emotional thing, but I mean, still connectivity with other people is cups, it's water, and we're seeing it being quite choppy here. The ships are kind of fighting against the tide there, Um, Again, we've got the Queen coming out, which sometimes she can put off that cold feeling. So based on the way things are right now, I don't think that there will be contact by the end of December. That doesn't mean that there won't ever be contact. I'm just talking by the end of December. I don't think so. I feel as though the vibes that are around about now, this might be the shit that they've got on, or it might be vibes that you're putting out. It might be that you're putting out these perhaps kind of a cold, frosty vibes. But whatever that is, it seems to be drawing them elsewhere at the moment. That doesn't mean at some point they're not going to turn around and kind of see you and pay attention to you and have this contact with you that you're looking for. But right now, I'm saying that something needs to change in order for that. Something needs to happen to catch their attention. There needs to be something that gets their attention, and right now it's just not happening. Um, so yeah, I hope that that was helpful. Um, yeah, you can let me know what you think. Oops. Okay. Oh, thank you, Lily. Or she says you need a different deck. The red-headed stepchildren is a saying here in the United States, meaning that we're in trouble. We're the trouble children, right? Okay. Um, Lovely girl says, "Hi, new sub. Can I get a reading?" Yeah, you sure can. Just pop your question in the chat. Mark says, "Thanks again for the insightful reading." By the way, that's the name. By the way, that's the name of the new love interest. Uh, all the best to you over the holidays. What's the name of the new love interest? I feel as though I missed something there. But yeah, I hope that I'm glad it was helpful for you, Mark. Will I start to date him in the future? Will I start to date him in the future? Will Wendy Harvey start to date him in the future? Let's see. I think be careful what you wish for. Um, there's definitely if it's what you want, then you know the Nine of Cups usually means yeah, you can manifest that, you can make that happen if it's what you really want. Um, is that just make sure is this someone that you know well? Is this someone that you know that you're really compatible with, and that it's going to work? Um, Queen of Swords paired with the Five of Wands there can be quite a challenging energy. It can be very kind of a passionate, and it could work in its own way. But just make sure that that this person is actually someone that you know that you're compatible with and it's going to work with. Okay. Um, so yeah, I hope that was helpful. Oh, Mark means Chris is the name of the love interest. Right, okay, thanks, Ishu. Um, so Sun Lyman asks, how does my friend S feel about me after our candid conversation? How does S feel after the candid conversation? Okay. I I know you've described the conversation as candid, Sun. I'm not sure if S feels the same. I'm not sure if S maybe thinks that there's something that you're holding back. And maybe you've got the high priestess sitting there representing the situation. The high priestess can be quite a tricky energy to be working with when it comes to the exchange of information. She has all of the information in the world. She represents it. She is all the information in the world. Okay, she has it all inside that scroll, inside her head. But the problem is she's not always forthcoming with that information. So if that's the card that's coming out to represent the situation, I'm not sure if maybe they're not sure if there's maybe something that's not being said. Okay, so it's not that they necessarily feel negatively about you after the conversation. They're maybe just not too sure if you're holding something back. Okay. The devil is an interesting one to come out as advice. Um, the devil is at its core about desire. and from desire springs off all of the kind of a represent, all of the interpretations of the devil that we can get. But it's all first and foremost that primal energy is desire. Desire is a really powerful thing. Um, it can lead us to do great things. So it can, how many people have achieved amazing achievements because of pure desire? But at the same time, how many people have landed themselves in really difficult situations because of desire, because they really wanted something so bad and they didn't really assess the situation properly, you know? Sorry, I think this is tapping off the microphone. Um, so that's just a wee kind of a word of advice in the middle there, as pay attention to what it is that you're desiring. Make sure that you're kind of maybe it's just talking about how you're expressing yourself. Make sure that you're making clear what you want to get out of the situation. Make sure you're being upfront about that, and just be wary of one side being maybe trying to exercise control over the other, because that's another thing that the devil can represent. You know, um, the devil can manipulate you based on your desires. He can offer you, oh look, I can offer you all of this stuff, um, and they can kind of almost you become like a puppet on a string to them because they know how to push your buttons. They know how to get how they know what you want. They know what your desires are, and therefore they know how to get what they want out of you. So that's just something to be careful of. Moving forwards, the kind of outcome of the situation, we've got the Queen of Wands. So we've got this really kind of a fiery energy, this real warmth, this real presence. So there, we are moving forward to having this real kind of this power about us. But I think it all depends on, how this kind of where the conversation goes next. Okay. Queen of Wands is the kind of person, when she walks into a room, everyone admires her, everyone wants to know what it is that she's got to say, you know, all heads turn, that kind of a thing. But I don't think we're going to get that until we can have this kind of be absolutely upfront and make sure that there's. You might be sitting there and thinking, well, no, it was a candid conversation. I'm not holding anything back. Make sure that they know that. Okay, make sure that they know that you're not holding anything back, because right now it might be that they're not too sure. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Um, okay, right. I can see Discovering Dale has asked a lovely question, and after that, I'm going to say no more readings after this point. Um, because yeah, and I'll be here soon. Let's see. Angel, I do see your question. I'll get to it. I'm just working my way down the list. Let's see. Okay, so I want to know, will H respond to my messages? Will H respond to my messages? Okay, thanks. Okay, well, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's been here and who's asked a question. I really appreciate everyone turning up and bringing your questions for me to read for. I think I've got Angel, and then I've got Deep Shika, and then I've got Discovering Dale, and then that'll be me for the evening. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I'll maybe remove the Take that off just now. Okay, we'll hit respond to your messages, Angel. Right. Again, it may well be that they eventually do, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. See, if we look at the kind of a more here and now energies we've got, well, I mean, just look at the depictions that we have. We have like kind of a, we have someone being ignored in this card, and we have someone who feels like they're being ignored in this card as well. So I don't see them contacting you anytime soon. I feel as though there needs to be something that happens that draws their attention to you, because right now you're not in their kind of a primary focus, I'm afraid, Angel. Like I say, at some point we do have a complete change in energy happening. We're going from these Earth cards over to the Ace of Cups, which is watery energy, which is all about connections. So at some point, eventually, there is going to be that spark, that connection. It suggests that they are going to contact you, but not based on what's happening right now, not anytime soon. So if there's something that you can do to sway that, so for example, can you contact them instead? Then I would encourage you to do so. This is just a reading based on what the current energies at play are. All right, there's nothing to say that you can't take that and turn it and say fuck it, and turn it on its head, and make it work how you want it to work. So if there's a way that you can influence it, so like if you're the old man, say to them, "Excuse me, stop ignoring me, please. I've built this whole place. Show some respect." Or if you're this guy here, say, you know, "Excuse me, but you're giving him all the money. Like maybe I could have some as well." You know, just make yourself known, make yourself heard. Um, but eventually, one way or another, there is contact established. I see that here in the Ace of Cups. So I hope that was helpful. Mark's here and confirms yes, Chris is the name of the new love interest. Well, that's pretty cool, Mark. That's a good, strong name. Right, let's see who was next. We had Deep Shuka. I'm sorry if I'm not quite pronouncing your name right, lovely. Deep Shuka. Is GS a good person for you? Let's have a wee look and see. Okay, it's looking quite positive. Right. Yeah, I say go for it. You've got the sun is describing the general situation, so that suggests, you know, yeah, enjoy it. It's time to lap up all of those positive feelings, all of that kind of a happiness. Um, all of that kind of a lot of validation. There's a lot behind the sun, but what it manifests as is just pure joy, pure happiness. Just how those happy feels that you get. You know, if you think back to a time in the last year when you would describe yourself as being in a state of pure happiness, pure joy, that's that positivity and that positive emotion, that is what the sun represents. So if that in turn is what is representing, you know, the connection between you two, then I would say yeah, absolutely go for it. There is coming in with these two wands cards, we've got the Knight of Wands and the Three of Wands. Now these are two very active energies. If you basically say, right, okay, GS is a good person for me. I'm just going to sit back and wait for GS to come and, woo me and ask me out or whatever. To be honest, I don't know if it's really going to come to anything, because the advice here is that you need to take an active part in the relationship and the connection and, the spark and this happening, you know. The knight is the fire of fire, very fiery energy. Sometimes he's so fired up that he's chasing his own tail, you know, but it's just all of that energy. And then the three of wands as well. Earlier on, I was talking about the ace and the two and how it's that kind of an initial spark of energy and then the planning phase. The three is when you move past the planning and you actually get shit done. Okay. It's when you actually take action on it and, do it. So, in terms of seeing a prospective relationship, this is saying go for it. All right. So, I think this is really positive um, for, the connection between GS and you. And I think that this is, a lot. I mean, even in the sun, the fire. Obviously, the sun is the biggest source of fire, isn't it? So there's a lot of fire in this reading. And I say good luck and go for it, and I'm excited for you. And last but by no means least, we have Discovering Dell. You're very welcome. Thank you for that lovely comment. What should I focus my energy on for the next few months? What should I focus my energy on? Or what should Dale focus their energy on for the next few months? Okay, that's really wanted to come out and say something. So, family, the people around about you. Now, it might be your actual family by blood, or it might be your friends, it might be your chosen family. But the people around about you are important for the next few months. All right. Those connections that we make that kind of sustain our lives, they are important, at least for you, for the next few months. All right. So that's where you want to be putting your energy. Um, don't do this and do this. Okay. So, okay, interesting. Both of these cards are, do you see how they're both waiting for something to happen? I think I'm going to sneeze again. Oh, that didn't come to anything. Sorry. So both of these cards, it's as if we're waiting for something to happen. So in our family life or in a relationship, it's as if you're in this state of waiting for something to happen. But the question is, how do we go about that? Okay. We have, on one hand, the cards are asking you not to do this. So this is someone who, you know, appears to be blindfolded. Okay. So they're not taking that logical kind of a look at how things are. They're not applying reason and ration to everything. The moon, the colors and the time of day is really important here. The moon is a really kind of a emotional energy, and sometimes it can kind of turn us upside down a wee bit. It can be confusing. Okay. Um, so this to me is telling you be careful. Don't get yourself into a position where you're not looking at the situation rationally. What you want to be doing, what to do is this. Okay. And this is someone who's paying attention to their hard work, paying attention to what they've done so far, to see how this person has been really attentive to the resources or the pentacles they've planted, and they're waiting for the right time to harvest that. Okay, that's what you want to be doing. You want to be paying that attention. They've put in the hard work and they're waiting for the right time to act. That is what you want to be doing. Don't be doing this where you kind of just shut your eyes and just guess, or just wait until maybe the right time. You want to really be kind of analyzing the situation rationally and deciding, right, when is the right time for you. Okay. So I hope, sorry, I was still highlighted on the last comment, but that was Dell that I was reading for. So I hope that that was helpful, Dell. Angel, yes. To answer your question, yes. I think so. Just maybe not as soon as what you would like. So yeah, Dale, I hope that was helpful for you. Just don't don't put those rose-tinted glasses on. Make sure that you're looking the situation in the eye, looking at it as it is, applying rational thought, analytical thought to the situation. And this is to do with your family, so that's interesting. I wonder what it is that's or it's to do with your relationship life side of things. So I wonder what's going on there. Okay. Right, guys, I am going to love you and leave you. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much to everyone for being here, for your lovely chat, for bringing your questions, for the readings. I hope that it's been helpful for you. Hope that everyone has a fantastic Christmas and New Year if I don't speak to you before then. And I shall see you all at some point in the near future. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.